Hey everybody, this is Norm, and you are listening to Mastering the Ascent. Today on the Mastering the Ascent video blog, I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about this idea of financial enlightenment. So on the podcast, we talk about this all the time. We talk about the idea of going through financial enlightenment and understanding how to grow wealth through asset class diversification. So, everybody's told the same thing and everybody seems to follow the same path, everybody in the middle class, that is. And that is just this idea that, you're going to go to work, you go to school, you work hard in school to prep yourself up to get a job, and then you go to work and you earn money, and then you put that money into a 401k, and that's how you're going to save for retirement. That's how you're going to prep yourself up to be successful in the end and be able to live your golden years out and do well with that. And the reality is, especially in today's day and age, in this world of economic stimulus and quantitative easing and just expanding the money supply at such a rapid rate, that's just not going to work anymore. And I'm afraid that people are going to find themselves in a situation down the road where they realize it when it's too late. The reality is, if you continue down that path, I think you're going to have a very rough future down the road. You certainly aren't going to put yourself in a spot where you can become wealthy, and you definitely are going to have, in my opinion, even a difficult time when it comes time for you to retire just in general. So, on Mastering the Ascent, really one of the things that we put out there is this idea of financial enlightenment. When you go through financial enlightenment, you have the realization that asset class diversification is how you're going to grow wealth. Now, what do I mean by asset class diversification? Really what I'm talking about here is spreading that money out into multiple different asset classes that put money into your pocket from a cash flowing standpoint on a regular basis. So those different types of asset classes that we're talking about are things like real estate, things like commodities, such as gold and silver, things like paper assets, so the bond market, the stock market, which is what we traditionally think of when we think of just investment in general, is those specific markets. But also things that are a little bit more esoteric, like art. And in all reality, another asset class that you can do very successful in is just business in itself. So diversifying amongst different business processes. Especially in today's day and age, when you have things like the internet and the ability to get your voice heard and expand your marketing throughout not only the entire country, but the entire world. It really puts you in a position where you can start to build on and grow income and grow that cash flow at a relatively decent rate with just a little bit of output of work. So, I think it's really important to make sure that you're taking your time to dig deep into some of these different asset classes and then start to look at where to invest that money a little bit more intelligently than what we do today. Taking your money, putting it in a bank account, is not going to work. I mean, with the rate at which we are producing stimulus packages and the rate at which we are doing quantitative easing, so just basically printing money. The Fed is printing money, and they said that they would be indefinitely doing QE. So, when you think about that, when you start to realize that, you realize that your money is sitting there just degrading at such a rapid pace that it's going to be very hard to stay ahead in the future. Now, also with the invention of the internet and with the fact that we have moved a lot of the trading platforms onto the internet, the retail trader can actually get out there and get into the market and make trades on a daily basis. You're also going to start to see these just gigantic swings when it comes to the stock market. And we recently have seen that with this coronavirus thing happening. You saw a 45% decrease in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, followed by a 35% rebound, almost back to even. The reason that that stuff is happening is because there's more availability to the markets and more people can get in there, get scared, and move money quickly. So if your money's just sitting there and you're expecting it to grow because the economy generally grows overall, which can be true and is true the majority of the time based on demographics, I think you're really fooling yourself. So, the most important thing is that you realize that you need to get educated in these types of things. You need to look at some of these different asset classes and look at how they can help you to grow your wealth over time through different avenues, different asset classes. Here on the video blog, we're going to be doing one of these on money every single Tuesday. And I'll dig deeper into each one of these asset classes and spend some time not only just teaching you guys what those different asset classes are all about and how you can utilize them to grow your money, but actually doing some showing you some very tactical and practical approaches to be able to utilize that and help you to grow your wealth over time. So thank you all for joining us today. We just had a podcast that recently came out with Mr. Jeff Bliss. Make sure you guys hop on over to the podcast and listen to our podcast with Jeff Bliss, all about mindset. So thank you all for listening to me today. This has been Mastering the Ascent. Keep climbing.